Welcome ladies and gentlemen, it's great to have you back at the forge. Thank you for being here. We're going to keep on working on this Viking Seax today. We're going to do the grinding, at least the rough grinding pre-heat treatment, since this is not yet hardened. Last time off camera I quickly straightened out the edge and we're going to get ready to grind this. There's different grids and you go up in grids from like a really low grid, which is really coarse and takes off a lot of material, to fine grids. We're going to start off with a really rough 40 grid, which is also going to be a very old and banged up one, because this gray stuff on the blade right now is called scale. That's very hard material, harder than even the hardened steel usually, and if you use that on your fresh belts, you're basically going to go through them really quickly, you're going to blunten them. So we're going to get cracking with an old 40 grid. I hope you enjoy. I'm really happy to have you back again. Thanks for coming along and let's have a great time. Thank you. So, we've got most of the scale off. It's fine that there's a little bit of faceting right now. That happens when you basically take a different angle on the platen of the grinder than the one before. Usually it's bad practice to have that, especially when you're getting towards the thinner part of the knife where you're finishing your grind up. But as it's pretty much the beginning right now and it's just the rough, I'm not too worried about that yet. And yeah. So next up I'm gonna change to a fresh 40 grid, so we get through this amount of steel a little bit quicker, because there's just a lot of it. I put in a little notch on top right here, just because I think that's quite an attractive looking feature. In general, like this little hump, I will show you later a little bit closer. So yeah, let's throw in a fresh 40 grid and keep on going through this. As you probably can see right now, this is the old belt and this is the fresh belt. basically this is what we've got right now. This is what a 40 grit looks like. You see it's very rough. But this is the grit that I usually use to rough in the blade, because that's what takes off the material the quickest. And when I'm starting to reduce a blade from a very thick profile to a thinner one, I like to take off as much as I can basically. So, you've just seen me switch out the belts on the belt grinder from a 40 grit to an 80 grit, a slightly higher, finer grit, and that's going to be the last grit I change to, or the last grit I grind with before applying the clay to the blade in the next episode. And you can basically see how quick and easy it is to change my belts with this grinder. I'm really happy that I got that from a young metal worker who basically did a DIY here in Germany. It's quite difficult to get these kinds of grinders because there are safety regulations on not being allowed to have open grinders with direct access to the wheel, so you can get your fingers in between the wheel and the platen, and that's really annoying. So these kinds of grinders that you see in Fortune Fire, or basically these classical knife grinders, they are really difficult to come by in Germany because they always have to have closed up systems basically. But I'm really happy I got that. So you don't always have to pay that much money for good products. See in your area, maybe there's something that's DIY, maybe you can take the plans of this one. If there's any interest in that, I might post a video of that belt grinder on its own, and we keep going. This is where we're going to end up for today. We've got the blade on an 80 grit belt finish. This is going to be the last grinding I do before actually claying the blade, which is going to be in the next episode, as well as the hardening and the tempering of the blade. I'm really excited for that because it's always a challenge and it's always something where a lot can go wrong if you do an interrupted quench with a hamon, and I just hope to take you along to that journey. Be sure to leave a like, a comment or subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Also be sure to check out my Instagram in the description below, where I usually post photos close to every day. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to tell me what I can improve on anyways, because I've just started out on this and I'm really grateful for any bit of feedback that comes my way. And I just hope you enjoyed it and you'll be there next time. Until that point, have a great day. Thanks for coming along. See you next time.